Oh man, it's a whole other beast right now. It's when I grew up in this game, it was a underground subculture. Only a few were part of. You know what I mean? Only a few people understood. The industry didn't really know how to market the game. They didn't know how to promote it. They didn't really know a lot about it. Now you know a lot of the shit we've despised, man. We wasn't about being bougie. We was underground. A lot of the shit we despised and what we was against in the original spirit of the shit, it has become, you know what I mean? It's become a formulated form of pop music. It's become real bougie, you know, but at the same time, I wouldn't want it to change. It's growth, you know what I mean? But with all that, man, you still got this flourishing underground. You got new cats coming up through the underground. You got the whole little backpack scene with the 12-inch scene coming back out, you know, like the original days with the First Priorities and the Tommy Boys, when it was a 12-inch scene before everybody was making records. And you know, you got your hardcore shit from down south. You seen the shit branch off. You seen the shit grow into, you could have never imagined 10 years ago how big this shit would have got. You know what I mean? It's global, man. It's taken over the whole fucking world, man. When I go to Europe, from going back in, you know, 89 to going back now to certain places, you see how big this shit is, man. You know what I mean? It's pop music. If you look at the way they've always written pop music, they've had fucking songwriters that just sat in and just in-house songwriters. And hip-hop wasn't about that before, but it's become that. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the way the game is, you just gotta find your place within the thing and keep it moving, man. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about this shit or what it should be or what's good or bad for the game. I think the game's beautiful, man. I love 50 Cent, I love Young Jeezy, I love Kanye, you know what I mean? I love motherfucking Self-Scientific. Just all different kind of shit I like, you know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of these little underground kids who don't like this and this because they sell records, man. That's all that shit my favorite shit. So I got my own little niche in this world, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just do things my way. I'm still a fan, thank God, man. If I wasn't, I'd be burnt out. That was just the time, you know, you can't get your first go around twice, you know what I mean? So the first time with everything being new and being fresh and being something you've heard for the first time, you know, you can never repeat that again, you know what I mean? Those life experiences, but there will be another golden age to the next generation, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a different time and a different period, I believe, but you don't want nothing to go back, man. You want it to go back to the days before we had Grammys, before the days we were played on daytime television, before we was respected, before we could get on the cover of magazines, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, now motherfuckers, everybody's bowing down and wants to be part of the hip hop culture, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't want it to go back those days, man. We worked too motherfucking hard to get it to this point, you know what I mean? I really don't chase trends and I don't really try to, you know, I mean, do the flavor of the month, whatever that is. And I kind of created my own world within the world, and I feed my people, man. I give them what they want, you know what I mean? I don't really worry about what's going on. Every few years we got a big smash, you know what I mean? But we do music for the sake of doing art, man. You know what I mean? I never got into this for economic purposes, although it turned into that eventually, but always done it on my terms. Never had to bend over backwards and switch my style up and do whatever and play trend chaser, you know what I mean? So I'm in a marathon race, man. I'm not in a sprint, so you know, for me, it's 18 years later and I'm still here relevant, you know what I mean, doing my thing, and just basically feel brand new and fresh in this game, man. I got a lot of things popping off, a lot of new groups, a lot of new things, you know what I mean? I'm more the type of producer, I like to sit back and develop my own groups and, you know, develop my own shit like that instead of just selling a beat to everybody here and there, you know what I mean? People jumping on your shit and stealing your shit like that. Man, everything inspires music, man, from music to people to friends to my family, you know what I mean? Movies. It don't really matter what it is. Inspiration comes just from living life, you know what I mean? It's from everyday life. That's where inspiration comes from. U2, Pearl Jam, Ice Cube, KRS-One, Goody Mob, Mobb Deep, Dr. Dre, RZA, Wyclef, Janet Jackson, you know what I mean? I just left fucking Houston, did some shit with Bun B, Young Jeezy. So that's for the new upcoming Soul Assassin records we doing right now, man. So, you know, I work with pretty much everybody from all my peers of my time that were respected and, you know, everybody that you should work with through your time, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been wanting to like develop my own projects, still like the Soul Assassin records, instead of trying to jump on somebody's big album, you know what I mean? What am I gonna do? If I wanna go work with a Jay-Z or LL or tomorrow, they're going platinum regardless if it's my beat or your beat, it really don't matter. But to be able to develop something out of nothing, just an idea, you know what I mean? And turn it into a cultural movement is something that definitely, you know what I mean, it doesn't come around every day. There really ain't a formula, man. It all comes all different ways, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I did is I've always been inspired. When I came up in hip hop, it was really influenced by rock and roll. You had Run DMC, You had Public Enemy, you had LL Cool J, you had the Beastie Boys. Everybody sampled rock and roll. Hip hop was the urban punk rock. They thought the same way as punk rock, where it was basically fuck y'all, fuck conforming. This is how we do it. This is our shit. We're pissed off, and everybody eat a fucking bowl of shit because we don't give a fuck. And we're doing our shit like this. You know what I mean? And you know, I always wanted to make records that had that rock and roll energy in them. You know what I mean? Similar to PE and Run DMC. That's what I was influenced by. So I always really dibbed and dabbed in that rock world, and I always wanted to do a mix show, a hip hop mix show. But there's so many motherfuckers doing it that have dope shows. I was like, nah, what's the point right now? You know what I mean? But I figured out, let me do it like this and hit them a different way where I could actually help hip hop grow even bigger, and mix it with rock, and have kids that really don't like hip hop too much listen to it because of the hip hop beats, and have hip hop kids listen to it and be like, oh, there's some fat rock breaks out there. What's that? You know what I mean? But do it all in a hip hop spirit. The way I put the whole show together, it's all hip hop based, hip hop feel. You know what I mean? So I think it's just it's another fucking branch of the tree. You know what I mean? Equipment I use MPC 3000 still, really. I like that. It's hands on. I'm quick on it. You know what I mean? Right now, what I'm listening to on my CD player, G-Eazy, Middle Fingers, out of Houston, Bun B's new crew. You know what I mean? Killer Calleon, part of the Boss Hall Outlaws, out of Houston. You know what I mean? That's what I'm listening to right now. My man Mitchie Slick, my new artist out of San Diego, and just mixtapes, homie. I just go through mixtapes like fucking water. Hip hop is it's street culture, you know what I mean? So that's just part of fucking life, you know what I'm saying? Beefs just carrying over to music. Hip hop's always been about beefs, and it's always been about competition and battles. So there's ain't nothing new from KRS-One until now, you know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. Motherfuckers was getting beat up and robbed back in the days, man. You know what I'm saying? The black spades would come in and just rob motherfuckers, you know what I mean? LA has always been the same too. I'm sure Chicago has as well, but it's just more now.